Hey! We're Jess and Freddie and Winnie, of course, and we've embarked on a 6-month home renovation of our London house. After years of saving and 2 years living here, we took the plunge and knocked down a few walls and added a new floor in the loft. It is chaos and we're living through our build and sharing all the highs and lows of taking on a home refurb project. Hello, welcome back. So I'm actually working in bed today because we have no rooms left in our house other than our bedroom right now. They're actually digging up the floorboards in our living room to replace the lead pipes that supplies our drinking water to the house. Obviously this here is a chaos that I want no part of, so I'll just stay in bed. They're actually doing this because we are just preparing the pipes under the floor so that when Thames Water get back in touch to replace our valve, which is lead, then we have all the fully prepared pipes so they can just connect theirs up. So by doing it this way, it means that we don't actually have to rip up any floorboards at a future date when Thames Water are ready to come out and change our valve. It takes 3 months. So yeah, I'm keeping cozy in bed today. Also, I had to have a freezing cold shower today because our boiler is being replaced. And the new one's getting installed, but it meant no hot water for the day. So, fine. I can live with that for one day, but one day only. Fingers crossed tomorrow we will have the hot water back. Please. Coming in with a little update for you on the first floor. Now, plasterboarded, and behind here is our wall-hung toilet system. And then here will be tiles going over the underfloor shower tray because it's going to be a wet room area. They've put in the pole for the ceiling shower head. They can't put plumbing behind this wall because it's solid. Bathtub's gonna be going here, and then dresser's gonna go here, which I do plan on upcycling next week before it goes in. Then we've got lighting either side of the mirror. Somebody come to say hello. Back to bed, fine, it's early still. This room, doing well still. We just storing the bathroom stuff in here because this room, it just needs to kind of be finished plastering. We picked the door frame to go slightly off from the wall because we're going to put in shallow built-in wardrobes here, get them in IKEA, the half-step 350 ones, and then we're going to stop them at this piece of wood here, put a door in here because I don't know if you can see, it's so dark, but look how much storage we've got under the stairs. So that'll be like a secret cupboard. We also ended up removing all the spotlights. Well, they're not removed yet, but we were gonna keep these, and then the electrician was like, needs a full rewire, like pick what you want for the room. So we're having just one pendant in the middle. It's just me, but I'm not a fan of spotlights in bedrooms. I just think bathrooms and kitchens and hallways only. So spotlights are so expensive because for us it's £60 a fitting for the electrician, that's our bill. We have a certain number included in our quote, and then it's 46, and if we go above that we have to pay £60 a fitting. I think we're at like 80 at the moment, so there's going to be a big bill. So as opposed to having like 4 spotlights in a room, I can have one pendant and it saves me 180 quid, plus the cost of actually buying the spotlights, which all have to be fire regulated, so they're expensive. Something we hadn't factored in when it's been absolutely freezing for the past month here, and we've been complaining about that. Something we should have been grateful for was the fact that it hasn't rained at all in a month. Like, our builders have been able to do so much with the dry weather. Now it's like torrential downpours, and it's May and it's still freezing. So weird, this weather is so weird. This one loves living on a building site so much. Like, every day when the builders leave and we can let her out here, she just runs around looking at everything, picking up all the rubble. What's that? Are you catching the raindrops? So we are now week 15 into the build, which has gone by so quickly. I cannot believe the amount of progress that's been made in such a short amount of time. However, It has been such a struggle. I think that even though it's going at such a rapid pace, you know, there's 4 to 6 men on site every single day on all 3 floors of our house. Like, it's taking its toll. We are stressed and I feel like overwhelmed and burnt out, and I do not want this to be like a whiny vlog, but I thought I would just share some realities of like what it's like living in a building site. So I'm going to start with cooking. I think the biggest disruption for me has been the cooking side of things, not being able to eat food I want to eat. We've had to buy a microwave and it's a lot of microwaved food. Things like making my scrambled eggs and avocado toast in my living room and prepping it on my coffee table, and just, it's such a slight change in my life, but it feels like quite a huge disruption when you know you're doing this like 3-4 times a day, and just, it's so difficult to be creative about what food to eat. At the start we didn't have a microwave, so I was frying eggs in an omelette maker and making toast in an omelette maker, because yes, we didn't have a toaster. There was also a time that we boiled pasta in our kettle. That was like sheer desperation. We had no food and we'd hit our takeout budget max for the week and just had to eat what we had at home. Won't be doing that again. Because we don't have a pan.
No, you know, it won't all that shitty flaky shit stuff going there. I wouldn't do it.
I will sieve it. Oh, it's happening. It's happening, Fred. Oh, and Winnie's eating it. Not gonna share the actual disaster we had with the kettle exploding in the living room. The end result was alright. Tonight's dinner is a freezer dinner that I've defrosted, and I'm clutching my wine like it's the most important part of my meal, which it is. It's a vegan chili that I made a few weeks ago. I'm just having it with some rice. I'm gonna put some jalapenos on top, some cheese and some creme fraiche. And yeah, it's like a very easy 5-minute meal and very basic, but works for this kitchen and it's tasty. So I feel like the most important part of batch cooking is just like batch cooking the main part of the meal, whether that's a chili or a casserole. And you can just like tart it up with a salad or some microwave rice, or what, like a baked potato in the microwave, and then it's like a full meal. Someone needs to teach me a lesson in food photography, because that is so bad. This is like ultra zoomed in because I got my good lens on, trying to make them look nice and they just look so bad. I need a lesson in food photography. Maybe it'll be my next Skillshare class. I have so much cheese on meals like this that it just ruins the look of it, so I wanted to show you before the cheese. Okay, now I've put my cheese on, I had to show you again, or it would be unfair and catfish-like. So here it is with a standard portion of cheese. Delicious. Next up on the list of struggles, washing up. Lost the dishwasher, wow, well that was a luxury. And now all I'd love is a kitchen sink, but no, we had the bathtub for a week. So we are now doing our washing up in the bathtub. Oh, Freddie's doing it in the sink. That's better for the back, isn't it?
Yeah.
I did it in the bath last night and it was painful, which we mocked and complained about every day, and now I would do anything to have a bathtub back to wash up my dishes in, because we're using the cold hose tap outside. All we have is freezing.
Clean as a whistle.
I will never ever complain about unloading a dishwasher ever again in my whole entire life. Today is the start of the chore that nobody can be bothered with. We are starting to paint our attic. The whole of this freshly plastered room now needs a coat of paint. Straight to plaster stuff. Our builder picked it up and said it's the best stuff for straight onto plaster. It doesn't need too many coats, which is the most important thing. Then we're just gonna paint it white. I just want everything to be light and airy up here and just make it feel as big as possible. One spot we couldn't reach. Also, we just need to do the wood with a primer first and prime the banisters as well before painting them. I'm trying to choose the perfect shade of white for our loft. I want something that's an off-white. As you can see here, they all look quite different and grey compared to pure brilliant white that they're sat on. I can't decide. I've got 4 shades here. 2 are Valspar, I've got the Blanc de Blanc and the Pretty Pale. Then I've got Polar Bear Selfie from Dysing and Reynolds. And then I've got Strong White from Farrow & Ball. The Strong White just went on beautifully. I just love the pigment of a Farrow & Ball paint. But I do think now it's kind of grey, and I'm leaning more towards the Blanc de Blanc. I've done them on this natural daylight here, and then I've done them in the bedroom, which we don't have the windows yet, so this is artificial lighting. But it's just so I can see what the paints look like in artificial light as well. Freddie's just come off his work call. What do you think, Fred? They're all so different.
They are all so different, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are.
Grey, grey, grey or grey.
That is white, white, white or white. Look how they look so dark against a brilliant white wall. I mean, this painted on beautifully because Farrow & Ball. Pretty Pale and Polar Bear Selfie, which have got... Polar Bear Selfie, which is a grey undertone, very light grey undertone. This has got a greyish undertone. This has got a kind of yellowy undertone, and then this has got a kind of pinky purple undertone. Blanc de Blanc. That's the Valspar. I've just showered, and I think it's time for a glass of wine and put the fire on. Glass of wine. I seem to be having many glasses of wine at the moment. I subscribe to Naked Wines, and I just put 20 quid a month in there, and then once my piggy bank is full, I order myself a case of 12 wines. Hands down, one of the best subscriptions that I subscribe to. They've given me a code as well, which is really cool. So I'm gonna leave it in the link below. If you like your wines, then check it out. It's £30 for your first case of 6 bottles of wine, and it's a selection of their best sellers. The thing I love about Naked Wines is they cut out the middleman supplier and they go direct to the vineyards. The wineries get a really fair price for their wines, and you get really great wines at a reasonable price. So everyone wins. Cheers to that. Bit of Naked Wines for everyone. Enjoy. Third thing that we have really struggled with in the build has been exercise. We both do home workouts now since lockdown started and gym's closed, and I do my Pilates like 4 or 5 times a week, and just as the build has like progressed to every floor and our personal space has like decreased to literally the bedroom and the living room, and all our possessions are crammed in these 2 rooms, there is no space to exercise anymore. Number 4 that we are struggling with is sleeping arrangements. So it's so cold downstairs that Winnie is actually up sleeping in our bedroom at the moment, and she does not like to sleep in her bed next to us. She likes to be right in the middle of us. That's going to be a real struggle when we try and get her to sleep downstairs again once the build is finished, because there is no way that this is going to continue after our house is done. We wake up like 4 or 5 times a night and try and put her back in her bed, and then she just jumps straight back up, and I think by about 5 AM we both give up because we're just exhausted. So we're getting really disrupted sleeps because of it. It's not working. It's definitely a temporary thing, and I'm looking forward to the day when it's just Freddie and I in the bed. And number 5, the last thing, and I feel like actually everyone in the UK can relate to this right now, house refurb or not. It is so cold, like the coldest May on record ever to exist, and we don't have the windows in the loft yet, and the back of our house is open before the bifolds go in, so there's just this like Arctic airstream just flooding through our house, and it's so chilly. We both wear our coats during the day because we don't have any central heating at the moment, and obviously it is so painful to have a cold shower when we don't have the hot water. Like, we always knew we were going to have these situations of no windows or no heating in April and May, but we were like, that's going to be fine because it's spring, it's almost summer, but it's definitely not been fine, and it's actually been 3 duvets a night on our bed, and yeah, cold. Very, very cold. But I'm just looking outside right now and I can see blue skies and spring weather, and it's getting better. So thanks so much for dropping by and watching another one of my Reno vlogs. I'll be back next week with some more updates. They're making so much progress every single day now that like the update changes every week are immense. So I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!